What fun is this going to be? Indigenous Summer Solstice Festival 2020. And we have Trudy Metcalfe-Coe here to teach this old dog a new trick. Trudy, what are we doing today?
We are going to be making sealskin earrings.
Ooh.
If you can sew, I don't hand sew very much. I sew with a sewing machine.
Okay.
But it's just a little bit of hand sewing. And if you're just very careful, you're going to end up with a really nice pair of sealskin earrings that look like these.
And this is beautiful. So this is all sealskin that's been chemically dyed, you were telling me earlier, instead of, you were telling me something about the people of the North not dyeing their skins for one reason.
Yeah, so traditionally we prefer making Inuit clothing and stuff like that out of furs and skins and things. We don't chemically dye them because they're no longer waterproof and as warm as they would be. But of course, with all the crafts and stuff that are going on, we can get sealskins dyed almost any color that we like. And they'll withstand temperatures and humidity and stuff in the south, because if we made it with natural sealskin, they would start breaking down just after probably a couple of seasons.
And the colors you can get are endless.
Not endless, but there's probably a good 6 or 8 different colors. And I'm sure if somebody said, hey, can you make me whatever, you can find them in leopard prints and stuff like that.
Wow.
So maybe they are endless.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I just use all of my scraps from larger sealskin projects. So anything like these pieces are literally maybe an inch. So right down to the smallest pieces so that they don't go to waste. Because again, as Inuit, we traditionally would waste nothing. So we just try to carry that forward, and there's so many things that we can make with scraps of sealskin, all kinds of different kinds of jewelry.
Yeah, I saw some of the work that your daughter's been doing also, using bone as well as skin, as well as beads. And I learned something working with you a long time ago, many years ago now, is you don't throw away, you give back or you reuse. So when you see scraps like this, you know, you may think of this as just a little piece of garbage, but to you that could be a gorgeous something or other.
Yeah,
and it would
made into a pendant.
See, you're already seeing it. You're already seeing it.
Yeah.
So today we're doing earrings.
We're doing earrings. It's a fairly quick craft. We can probably get through making a pair in an hour once we know how to make it.
Cool.
It's going to take a little bit longer possibly, because are you a sewer or you're just a griller?
Come on now. Seriously, I know how to truss a chicken maybe,
Yeah.
but doing anything with actual sealskin, maybe not.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. What am I going to do
And
here?
the nice thing about something like this, I find it very relaxing.
Okay.
I mean, you might get frustrated when you're just getting started or something
Right.
like that, but as soon as you have a couple of little tricks, it's really therapeutic.
All right, I trust you.
So the first thing we want to do is we need cardstock is easiest.
Okay.
For like, it's a little bit harder.
Okay.
And you're just going to make a template.
All
so
right.
we happen to be doing, they could be called flowers or stars, right? I like stars, so I refer to them as stars.
Okay.
I've got a template here that you can trace from.
Okay.
And the kits that are going home are going to have a template.
Right.
Like one piece of paper like this.
Okay.
People can just take a piece of cereal box or something, right? And just put that paper onto your cereal box.
Okay.
And you're just going to draw your template. You only need one.
Okay.
It doesn't mean, try and get it to the size of the template, because we want them to be they're about an inch, right?
Okay.
And you only need to make one template, but you're going to end up cutting 10 pieces from that template.
All right.
So the kits that are going home are going to have a scrap of sealskin where you're going to get 10 of these little diamond pieces from.
Okay.
You're going to get beads, you're going to get earring hoops, you'll get a glover's needle. A glover's needle is like a leather needle.
Right.
The way it's, the tip of it is kind of like triangular, almost like a spear.
Okay.
So that cuts through, just pierce sealskin quite easily. So those are all going to be in the kits going home also.
So you're essentially getting everything that you need to produce these wonderful and spectacular earrings.
And when I say beads, you're only going to get 2 beads, right? So we just want to cover, like, it just kind of pops in the center like that, or what you see here.
Right.
And I don't mean I'm going to put the kits together. I don't know what color beads you're going to get, but I'm going to try and, you know, if you're getting like a piece of some purple sealskin, I'll put white or pink. All the colors go with everything, really.
Okay.
So this is all you're going to get. So now which color do you want to make stuff? What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is actually very close to purple, but since I'm making these for my wife, I think she would probably like the black.
Okay, so let's give you this piece.
Okay.
Because black is going to show up on this nicer for you.
Perfect.
And then I will make my favorite color, which is turquoise. choice.
Nice.
Anybody who knows me knows that's my favorite.
Now, I
color.
also noticed that the hair is shorter.
Different kind of seal.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so I don't know what kind of seal it is. I mean, I just
that makes
don't.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so different types of seal, and there's also, seal have prints on them, right?
Right.
When you see a natural seal, they're
Right.
not perfectly.
But you know what? I never thought that one would actually have a shorter hair
Yeah.
than another. It's like any other animal, I guess, a dog or a cat or whatever. You
Yeah,
have long-haired
different types
cats.
of seals.
Oh, that's
And
cool. Okay.
I don't know how
learn
many different
something.
types of seals there are, but you know,
Right.
there's harp seal, there's
Sure.
and also the ages. So if you have a younger seal versus an older seal, possibly.
I hear you.
So you're going to flip this over.
Okay.
So another thing that you want to keep in mind is you don't want wastage.
No.
So you're going to be making your templates as close to the edges
Right
as
to
possible.
the corner. Right.
Yeah, and you have a pen there.
I do.
So you're just going to draw 10 of these. And we're going to cut them out. There's 2 ways of cutting them, depending on what tools you have and what look you want.
Okay.
And try and draw your lines so that you can see them. I didn't draw mine dark enough.
Okay. So we want how many of these? Just 2, correct?
No, you're going to want, well, let's just start with 5. We'll make 1 earring each.
Okay.
And we'll see what kind of time we have after that.
Okay.
And yeah, so if there's time, you can make the second earring.
Gotcha.
So you see which way are you drawing yours?
I'm actually going right across. So I'm using the very bottom and all my wastage is right here.
Yep, that'll work. Because this is way that I was, like, what I was doing with mine. I'm making 2, and then I put this one on top of that one. So when you're cutting with really sharp scissors, that'll work. With an X-Acto knife, it should work also. You just want to, no, don't strip through it like that.
I'm down. Oh, I wanted to do 5, right?
Yes, you need to do 5. Each earring takes 5.
Okay.
And the reason I said no there is because there's a way to cut with an X-Acto knife versus cutting with scissors.
Oh, that's right. You told
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with scissors, you're going to get a really clean cut where you're actually cutting the hair
Right.
of the seal.
Yep.
With an X-Acto knife, you end up just cutting the actual, I guess, would this be the skin of the seal?
I guess so, yeah.
Like it's like a leather,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So you're only just cutting through that, so you end up having like longer hairs.
I hear you.
Like that, right? So depends which style that you want or what tools you have at home. If you don't have an X-Acto knife, scissors are going to be great. Oh, I only have 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind. So do you know what style you want to do? Because if you do one and I'll do the opposite.
I think she would probably like the longer hair the way that it hangs over the
Okay, so what you're going to do then, so I'll show you how to do your first cut.
side. Okay.
You only have 4 diamonds. You need one
1,
more.
2, 3, 4. Oh, you're
One
right.
more. So I'll show you how to cut yours and then you can continue and then I'll cut mine with the scissors and I'll do the opposite kind. So pretty much just what of course you want to do it very carefully because these are very sharp. And you're just going to cut just the back. And with a sharp knife, it goes through quite easily. And maybe we need to break the blade because I've used it enough maybe already. There we go.
Oh, I see.
So
what
you're
you
just following, you're not cutting straight through because if you're cutting hard pressure,
Right.
you're just kind of holding it off, so you're just cutting that part of it.
mean. Right.
See how sharp that is? And
It's,
then,
it's like I was watching a show on collecting wild animals, and to skin them, they say to actually go with the grain of, or the way that the fur,
Yeah.
Because otherwise it'll actually all impact itself into the meat. So you're doing the exact same thing, but in reverse.
no, I'm going kind of
Oh,
with
you're
the
going
fur.
with it? Yeah,
Yep.
you're going with it
Yeah,
too.
the fur is
So
going down.
basically keeps everything together.
Yeah. And almost, and always, actually, when you're making sealskin jewelry, you want the fur to be going down. That's the way it is on the seal, right? The fur
Right.
is going down.
I getcha.
So the same idea. So I'm just going to cut your first one here for you, and then you can carry on.
Okay.
And again, you just need to be really careful in some areas. Don't forget your fingers on the bottom of that piece of sealskin.
All right.
So you want 5.
So I cut all those 5 out.
Yeah, and there's your knife.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be using scissors on mine. Using scissors, they just need to be fairly sharp. These are a pair of scissors that I use exclusively for my seal. I don't, use them to cut other products, just like material scissors and stuff like that.
Right.
You have, just like knives, right? You use certain knives for certain
Okay, you
things.
made that look really simple, Trudy. Honest to God.
You'll get used to it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Watch your edges.
Yeah.
Watch your edges.
And the nice thing is if you mess up royally, You can start again, or you can switch your idea and go with the short hair.
Go freestyle. Go freestyle.
Yeah.
So when would you typically do all of your beautiful, like your beadwork and your cutting and all that? Is that like an end of the day thing where you're just trying to chillax and just get your mind off of daily struggles? Like for me, cooking is a release. I do that to just basically escape and have fun and enjoy myself. Is it the same way with jewelry making for you?
Well, as you know, I'm also a chef.
Yep, yep.
So cooking is also an escape.
Right.
This is something that if I'm sitting and watching TV, for example, I'm not someone to sit and just kind of watch
Yep. TV,
for example. There are
Yep.
times, yes, where I've hit a brick wall and it's like, okay, I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm just going to watch TV.
Right.
But more often than not, I'm fortunate that I have a craft space set up and a sewing space set up, has a TV in it and stuff like that, and I sit and watch TV at my craft table.
Right.
And I'm doing things.
Right.
So I'm either sewing or doing jewelry or doing beading. I'm just one of those people that
Has to stay busy.
wants to be doing something.
For sure. For sure.
And it's exciting too, because I mean, it's like I've learned this stuff from other community members.
Right.
And so I'm happy to pass it on.
Mm-hmm.
And and I should mention too, like I will probably have a lot of non-Indigenous people doing these crafts.
Right.
They should not be being made for people to be making them and then going out and selling them at markets and stuff.
Okay.
If they are not, let's say, Indigenous Inuit.
Right.
Because a lot of artists make their living making jewelry and crafts and stuff like that.
And some things are sacred as well.
Yep.
I learned that with the first festival where there was an unfortunate situation where a gentleman was selling eagle feathers, and that was completely discouraged on.
Yeah, you would sell.
It got finished very quickly, but I learned a lot through that process of the significance of what I would consider an everyday object to somebody who's Indigenous. That is, it becomes sacred. You know, whereas Canada is referred to as Turtle Island, for instance. You know, there's great meaning and great significance. And then the people, yes, I know.
Talk while you work while you're talking.
I do. I'm trying to avoid the cutting because this is hard.
You're not going to get earrings if you don't cut.
Okay, Mom, I'm getting on it.
So
I'm getting on it.
Actually, you should see this, because if you end up deciding that you like doing this, you might want to make more. Then, so when you're doing the scissor ones,
Yeah,
I'm pushing the sealskin down, the fur itself down,
right.
lining it up with the edge of the back,
Yeah.
and I'm trimming off the excess, so it's a nice clean cut.
Oh,
See
that's
how that
cool.
looks? Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, a lot of Inuit do crafting. That's their form of income. There's a huge ratio per capita of people who are Indigenous artists, Inuit artists. Excuse me. And some beautiful, beautiful things going on out there.
Okay.
And I also, even though I make jewelry and stuff out of sealskin, I still buy from people in the
You're
community.
also wearing your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
A few things. Like
Yeah.
I beaded my watch.
See, I had
strap.
somebody make my shirt, you know, and do my stitching.
Yeah.
You do it all yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
This was the first jacket that I've made.
How long ago was that?
This
May
one
I
was
ask?
probably about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I learned it at a class, a silk making class,
Right.
from somebody else in the community
Yeah.
at one of the Inuit organizations.
Okay.
And yeah, so now I'm making them, right? There's actually some on the Indigenous,
The website.
the website.
Yeah.
And yeah, so again, it's just one of those things I started making them for myself, and
And it just caught on.
yeah, and people
Yeah.
are like, oh.
I also
look at
noticed that your earring matches.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, anybody who knows me, I'm fairly.
Yeah.
If I'm out of the house, I'm fairly color coordinated. In the house, I'm wearing, I could be wearing a checkered shirt with polka dot pants or whatever.
Well, it's like when we were shooting the show in the spring. You came with a beautiful, beautiful jacket.
Oh, yes.
And I was, of course, wearing the shirt, and we're shooting in early spring, and I'm freezing, and you're, enjoying your little moment.
That
it was brilliant.
So last May, that's when we were shooting.
Yeah.
And I was actually wearing my winter parka because it was cold
I
out.
know, it was freezing out.
And here we are today, and
Are you already done?
I've done my cutting, yes. So I'm going to.
Get in there.
I should have been smarter and not cut my stuff on my working mat,
Okay.
because now I'm full of hair here, but that's okay. I'm just going to move it to the side
Right.
because I won't be needing that anymore right now.
Okay.
So let's take a look at yours and see how, like, if you look at the backs, you want the backs to be fairly uniform. If you did a decent job cutting. Well, okay. We can make it work. I think we can
It's
make
like
it
my
work.
first turned vegetables at George Brown. Oh, I wanted to cry.
Well, it's the first time you're doing it. I mean, I've learned a couple of things first time doing them also.
Okay.
So you do want them to be as close to the same size as
So
possible.
find of these two, uneven ones that'll actually fit together. That's what you're telling me. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you could, the closer they are to being uniform,
Yeah.
the better they are.
Okay.
So you know what?
What?
We're going to make a little bit of adjustments on yours. So you can still use the scissors to do this. You just don't want to cut through the hair now.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it on the board.
Oh, so you're folding the hair over.
I'm folding the hair out of the way.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
And again, this is trial and error when we're making these things.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to kind of trim that up nicely and hope we don't cut the hair on the other side. We'll be able to see right away.
I get you.
See that?
Wow.
Now these two are quite different in size. So, yeah, they're not quite diamonds either.
Next thing you know, you're going to ask me to put like 7,000 pounds of trout in a smoker, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
my.
all have our strengths, hey, Steph?
Yes, we do.
But you know
Oh,
what?
that's much better, just by the two little.
Yeah, just
Okay.
so the only thing is there's this one's not quite, that's an oblong diamond.
Okay. It has character.
It does.
It has
So I'm
its
just
own
going to
little-
try and
It has
trim,
its own little character.
try and make it into more of a diamond here
All
for
right.
you, and then we're going to have to adjust the other ones.
See, these are some of the problems that you may be having at home that I'm just actually sharing before you have them.
The
to
things
make it
not to
real.
do.
To
Yeah.
make it real.
The things you don't do.
Correct.
So see the difference here?
I see. Wow. So you're going to take a big
So
whack off
I'm
there?
going to, yeah,
Yeah.
and hope I get just the back and not the hair.
I get you. Oh, I see
Oh,
what
and
you
I
did.
did, see
Oh,
that?
look at that.
So yeah, I kind of like cutting your own hair, right?
Uh-huh.
Which,
Cool.
you know.
All right.
So yeah, so if you want to do that with your, like, if they're fairly close,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to be okay, but anything more than 1/4 inch,
Like that?
yeah, I would say cut it. And maybe I will do it because
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have that.
dexterity.
Yeah. The learned part.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks a whole lot better.
And you see how all your
Yeah.
hair is pointing
All
in one
goes down the
direction?
same way.
So when you're putting them together also, then you want all the hair going. What
Going
did
the
you do
same way.
here? Oh, Steph.
I'm sorry, Trudy.
No, it's okay. It's not going to be wasted.
I
We'll
hear
end
ya.
up using it. So I just want to see what the difference is here. There's still a significant difference.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
So that's 4.
She likes smaller earrings anyways.
Oh,
It's all
yeah.
good.
So they'll work then.
Absolutely.
This one's not quite diamond. There, and so yeah, so when people are cutting with the X-Acto knife, there's going to be enough in their kit to make, actually we're only doing 5 because we're making 1 earring right here.
Okay.
The other one's going to be the exact same thing.
I hear you.
So there's going to be enough in the kits for people to make a full set of earrings.
Nice.
And the sealskin piece, it's about 2 inches by 5.5, 6 inches.
Right.
So there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay.
So let's say if we send somebody a kit and then they make their templates and they're drawing onto their templates, then their templates are going to look more, they're going to be able to, there's a good bit of spacing.
Okay.
So when you are cutting with an X-Acto knife, then you'll have enough room. So if you make a mistake, you'll have plenty of room to adjust it.
I see.
I always did my stuff with X-Acto knives
Okay.
until just recently when I was somewhere and I didn't have an X-Acto knife, and I was like, I'm going to cut it with scissors. And I really like this sharp look. Yeah.
Very
So
nice.
there are your
Okay.
5 pieces. So we'll move this to the side. We don't need this anymore. There's just another color. I gave you, there's a needle. So these are Glover's needles,
Okay.
and they're fairly heavy, and they have, if you can see, kind of like the beveled edge on top.
Okay.
So that goes through leather.
Nice.
And the back of these are leather.
Okay.
So we also need now some thread. I wouldn't use sewing thread because you're going to be wanting to pull a little bit. This is fishing line.
Wow.
I use the same thing when I'm beading.
Okay.
Flossing my teeth.
Right. Right.
And I think for each earring, you're going to want almost 1 meter. The thing is too with this stuff, you're not going to have any waste because, you want to borrow my glasses?
What I do for...
Oh, and they're transitions, so
Oh,
what you're going to see in front of you is not quite what you're going to see far away.
Oh,
and
Trudy.
the faces are really important.
Oh, Trudy.
It's a big, but that's got a big eye.
Yeah. Okay, Trudy.
So the other thing too is like if you end up cutting too small of a piece of thread, you can join them together.
Me?
They can be fused together and melted, and then you end up having just a little tiny nibbly, and you can take 2 short pieces
Oh,
and
this
make a
is
long
not
piece.
happening, Trudy.
Well, we'll see if I can do it. Now as the race is on, Steph.
Oh my God.
Oh, you have my glasses.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to give you your glasses back, and I'm going to try and do it without glasses, and you with glasses.
Oops.
You're done, aren't you?
No, I dropped
No?
my thread.
Even better. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, I didn't get it.
I got it.
Of course you did.
And because we're using fishing line, 6 pound,
Woohoo!
we only need 1 strand. We don't need to double it. We pull it through, but
Okay.
we're only going to be sewing with a single strand. So no knots.
Okay, so I've pulled it through.
Yeah, no knots. The other thing, a nice little trick, is twist your needle. Twist the thread.
Right here?
Yep. And that just kind of holds the thread in place until you need to adjust it.
Oh, okay.
So now,
Yep.
again, keeping in mind the direction of your seals of your fur.
Yep.
Like, so you want the direction of the fur to be
To
facing
match.
out, and also away from the center of the earring. So you want, like, so this is going to be the center of the earring, right?
Right.
And so you want the fur kind of going out.
Okay.
And you're going to right sides facing the edges together. This is where right sides facing. So if yours are a little bit different in length, you're going to kind of like want to maybe
Okay.
make a few adjustments while you're sewing,
Okay.
so that they end up being about the same length once you get them put together. Yep.
All right.
So that's it. So with this, because we use 1 piece of thread, we don't break it or anything.
Mhm.
So we're going to be at times doing a single row. Sometimes it might be back and forth, because we always need to start where we can join the second piece on. So the first 2 pieces, I always start in the middle out here. And you're going to want to get as close to the edge as possible. Don't stick the needle under your nail or anything. As close to the edge as possible, because if you do it too far in, you're going to get I made that mistake with this one. I didn't sew carefully enough on the outside, so I have this where it's kind of like buckling in, right?
Gotcha.
Where this one here I did beautifully, and it stays nice and almost flat. So I learned that when I was doing this. This is like, don't do this, but you can do. But then again, you know what? You might like the look of that. Just if you're doing one like it, make sure you do a pair like it.
I get you. God.
Do you need glasses?
I need a chef knife. That's what I need.
Oh, and I did forget, yes, I'm not beading here. So you do need a knot at the end. Just you don't want your thread to pull through. So you can, I've already got mine threaded through, so I'm just going to tie the knot now.
So I tie a knot at the end of this?
Yeah. I should have done that. I just got to remember which craft I'm doing. Because when you're beading, you don't do knots.
Oh, I am so not doing this properly. Oh, there we go. All right.
Oops, mine still pulled through. It's such fine thread, right? And I'm using the board that I'm working on here to kind of push my needle through.
Okay.
Some people would have a thimble. Some people might have a metal thimble. Some people make thimbles out of leather.
So let's do this again. So it's right angle to right angle, skin in, so that it's pushing the other way.
And you're just,
Take
now you're
the
just
needle.
sewing. The other thing that I do is I push my fur in as I'm going along, just to get it out of my way so I can see what I'm doing.
How the hell do you get that?
Yeah.
Oh, ow!
Yeah. Don't sew your thumb to it.
Already did.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at me, Mom. I'm sewing.
Yeah. Don't let Jen know though, because
No, trust me.
you'll have to sew your own, darn your own clothes.
So you're just going.
I'm just going now. I'm just working towards this. I'm just doing this edge here.
Okay.
The other thing I'm doing is because I'm going to cut some of this tail off of the extra thread. I'm incorporating this thread here, I'm bringing that into the stitches so I don't have these tails sticking out after.
Oh my God.
If Steph can do it, people.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this is okay.
It's
I think we got
therapeutic
one
stuff.
switch in.
Yeah, it's
We
therapeutic.
got one stitch in. Let's get rid of all this extra.
So I'm going to just kind of proceed.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Show
And
the
if you-
people what they're going to do, and I'm just going to tally along. I
Yeah.
probably won't be able to finish mine because you are lightning fast.
No, I'm not fast because I am not a hand sewer either.
Okay.
So there's going to be people who, and my stitches are some of the stitches that Inuit seamstresses do. You know, they sew their kamiks and stuff together, and their stitches are so fine and so detailed, you almost can't see them. And
A lot like mine, really.
they're still waterproof. They're kamiks, right?
Unreal.
And I don't have that skill yet. And
But that's something that they're learned from a very young age, though. As
Yeah.
young children, they're making stuff, are they not?
definitely, like a lot of people start learning fairly young because it was just a way of survival.
Right.
And now people still, there are people who still make full fur outfits and stuff like that. Sealskin, caribou.
Now, have the rules changed, or because of modernization, that women are going out to hunt as well as men cooking? Because I know the rules were like the women would hunt, they would prepare the house, and the men would go out and gather. Is that still like the way it's done?
I think more so. There were hunters and gatherers. The women did a lot of the gathering, the men did a lot of the hunting.
Right.
But like in any society, there were also women who didn't have husbands. Their husbands may have passed on, or whatever the case might be, and they still need to be able to fend for themselves.
Okay.
If there wasn't another community, in Inuit communities, people take care of each other,
Correct.
which is really nice.
Right.
So yeah, it's like even if you didn't do it as a way of like a daily living type thing, you still learned the skills because you never knew when you might be in a situation where you would need to use those skills.
Right.
Men also learn to sew.
Okay.
Because if they're out on the land and their clothing rips or tears or something like that, they need to be able to repair it if they're not going to be able to be getting back to the community where there's somebody in the community who can repair it for them.
I see.
So for those reasons, and it wasn't like male-female dominance. Everybody was a part of decision making in the communities and things, even children, because decisions that were made impacted everybody.
Wow.
So I've got my two pieces joined, those two first pieces.
Okay.
Now, one thing that I'm seeing here that I'm not quite happy with is I didn't pull the first stitch quite tight enough.
Wait till you see mine.
What did you know what I did, Steph?
What?
I made a mistake.
No.
Oh, I did. I sewed mine the wrong way. Well, see? And I've been doing this, but I've sewed my sealskin the opposite direction of what it should
Wow.
be. So you'll have time, because I'm going to cut this out and
Really?
start again.
Of course you
Yeah.
will.
Well, wait, I can't do it. I can't. It
I
doesn't
know.
work.
I get it. I get it. I totally get it. I get it.
So you can catch up now.
Okay. I think I'm down to my last stitch.
Okay. Because we had to sew these 5 pieces together, right?
Oh, really? We have 5 of these to do.
Or you could just put an earring hoop in this.
I think that would be a wonderful idea.
No, Jen will be a lot happier when you show up and say, "Hey, look what I made for you
Yeah,
today."
I'm probably going to take yours home and I'm going to leave yours and you can redo mine. Oh, well, look at that. I just sewed 2 pieces together.
And look at that, and you did them the right way.
Yay, me! I'm very happy about that.
You're a better listener than I am.
Well, look at that, look at that, look at that. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you just want to give it a pull,
Okay.
right? So you're going to just pull everything tight there. And yeah, so that's not bad, Steph. You got your seal.
Right on.
So now what you're going to do
Here's another one.
Yeah, so this is your center.
Yep.
So what you're going to do now is you're going to again join right side to right side. So the right side is the hair
So
side.
you never have to cut this.
Never.
So this is like a continuous thread that goes all the way
Yep.
around. So you've got the integrity and the strength of the one.
Yeah.
Ah, I get it.
So with this one now, so here we started from the outside and worked our way in.
Yeah.
Now you're going to work from the inside to the outside, but you're going to come back up because you need to get back to the center when you join your 4th piece. So you're going to join your 3rd piece the exact same way. Make sure your hair is pointing down.
Right.
Right side to right side.
Okay.
And you'll have your 3rd piece on.
Rock and roll.
So I'm starting over.
It's okay. So again, we go right side to right side.
Yeah.
Like that. And then you're going to be starting at the center.
Yeah, and as close to the center as possible.
And again, you work your way down.
You're going to work your way just to that next corner, and then you're going to work your way back up this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, I'm getting this. Oh, I got a little too confident there.
So did I.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all
Okay,
good.
let me try this again.
This is supposed to be fun, right? This
It
is
is
a
fun.
fun activity.
And the nice thing is, it's a small enough project that I didn't do like a 2-foot piece and then realize, oh, I screwed up.
Yeah, we're not sewing the coat here.
No.
No. That would not be a proper thing to do at this
No.
point.
This is the, I also mean, I do jewelry making, beading and stuff like that when I'm feeling kind of tired.
Right?
Because if I do make a mistake, it's easier to fix in something this size.
Yeah.
Whereas if I make a mistake when I'm making something bigger, it's not as much.
I get you.
It's much more frustrating to have to take it apart.
Yeah, my lovely bride Jen, she used to do a lot of cross stitching, and you know, you'd hear the occasional
Choice words.
choice word when she had to
Yeah.
rip out all of her stitches and redo it because you're off by 1 or 2 counts.
Yeah.
So, you know, I could just imagine the frustration level would be pretty high after redoing it, but you've probably almost already done your second one there.
No. And it's taking me a bit more time because I'm trying to hide my tail
I get you.
within the strip there.
Uh-oh. So we're doing 5 of these, eh, Trudy?
For the one earring, yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And I mean, we're doing the star shape.
Yep.
People can get a bit more creative.
For sure.
And, you know, you can kind of curve the shapes a bit. As long as they're all uniform when you're putting them together.
Yep.
They don't have, you can do something that's more, let's say if we were doing one of these and we kind of curve the outside. Oops. So this would then, the points would end up being round as opposed to pointed.
Wow.
So it's imagination, right?
For sure. You can just freestyle it.
Yeah. And, you know, when you think of crafts, if you look at the different number of artists and the different styles of things they're doing, it's people's imagination. Like my hairpiece, I have a sealskin. I should take it out to show you.
Wow.
So this is the same, well, it's got a backing on it. It's a much bigger piece. And when you're making bigger pieces, you want to back them because otherwise the sealskin kind of curls. So with this one, this is actually 1, 2, 3,
You got a
4,
Nulu
5,
on the
6.
back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
I
there's
like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 8 pieces on this one.
Wow.
The exact same thing. You're just sewing them together, but they've got the curved pieces, and now you end up having a flower, right? And then people put whoever. This was a gift.
Yep.
And whoever put it together. That's their. You know, they took something, maybe started off something like this, and ended up with something like that. Different ideas.
Very cool.
There's so many talented artists out there doing amazing things. And like I said, even though I sew with sealskin and stuff, I still see things that it's like, oh my gosh, I need to have that.
Artistic
And
qualities.
it's their skills level is
Skill sets right off the charts, huh?
but way beyond mine. I only recently started working with sealskin, probably 2 years, whereas there's people who've been doing it all their lives, right? And in our community, I mean, we have groups that get together and teach and stuff like that.
All right.
So let's see if I did it right this time.
I think I'm
Oh,
almost
yes,
done my
I
second
did.
one. What's up?
I did it right this time.
Yay!
Yes. So now I'm going to, just like you, I'm going to carry on until we get the 5 pieces together. But it's really nice. You have a really nice, you know, set of earrings in a matter of a couple of hours.
Well, the thing is, you can say, you know, I made that.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how many people that are in my circle of friends that can say that they made a pair of sealskin earrings.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of cool.
And imagine your wife when she gets the compliments, like,
Yeah.
oh, nice earrings.
Well,
Where'd you get
whenever she
those?
wears, like, if you take a look at the beading that Trudy's got on her watch, she made my wife a lovely band as well. And whenever she wears it, actually, the last time was at the Museum of
Oh, the Museum of History.
Yeah, that was fantastic when you put on that dinner.
Yeah.
It was incredible. First time in my life I've ever had smoked, what was it, smoked beaver.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
from Cezanne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was incredible. It was a lot of fun.
My first time too. I was actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was. I never thought I would eat beaver.
Well, you know what? When we did the solstice and they were preparing and presenting seal for the elders, and we got to actually try a little bit of the seal. For me, that was something that I've always wanted to do. I'm glad I did it. Did I really like it? It's an acquired taste.
It absolutely
it's
is.
very high in iron because I need it. You know, and like you say, everything that is harvested is a requirement. You need it to live. It's sustainable, you know.
Yeah, I went to Iqaluit last year
Right.
for 6 months, from the beginning of June, or the end of June to the beginning of, no, hang on. Yeah,
Sorry,
end
I
of June to the
think
beginning of
I think I
December.
screwed up. Oh no. Oh, did I? I've got the 3 pieces.
We go to the front. No, you're good. So yeah, you can. So now what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Go right to the corner on both sides, and
Right.
then you're going to go back to the center, because you're.
Oh, so you on the same row, you're going
Yeah.
all the way down and all the way back, so you
Yes.
can continue from the bottom or from the top.
From the
I
center
get you.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was wondering how I was going to start my other piece. Okay, sorry, I
Yeah,
interrupted you.
so I was in Iqaluit, working there for 6 months.
Right.
Wonderful organization that I worked at, the food center.
You
I
were
used to
gone
be-
for a while.
I was gone for. Well, I was like, I left at the end of June last year,
Yeah.
and I got a sunburn on July 1st in Iqaluit.
Good God. Well, I remember one post you had. You were talking about does anybody know where the whale is? Does anybody know where the whale is? Because you were all going out to help in the harvest of this whale that was actually harpooned.
That was the year before.
Oh, was that 2 years ago?
That was the year
Oh
before.
my God.
Yeah, so I had the pleasure.
That was crazy. You were driving around looking for a whale.
Yeah, a dead whale that was out behind one of the islands, and looking to just jump in. Somebody would take me out to help butcher it.
What an experience.
Yeah, a 56-foot whale, and yeah,
So the whole community comes out for that.
I mean, that's in the smaller. There's a lot more going on in the smaller communities when it's something like that, because the smaller communities are, I guess they're closer in a lot of sense, because Iqaluit is like 8,000 people, right? And they're not all Inuit. There's a lot of non-Inuit there.
Okay.
There's still certainly a sense of community in a lot of ways. For that one there, I wouldn't say the whole community would come out, but there's going to be like 30 or 40 people, right? Hunters
Sure.
and stuff like that. And it is a group of hunters that go out to hunt in a traditional mean with harpoons and stuff. And it's all regulated, because you can't just go out and kill these big whales
For sure.
randomly. They're all, you know, they're tagged, and it's decided which community gets the tag for that year and stuff.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it was an amazing thing for me to be able to go out and do something that my ancestors did.
Pretty cool.
And of course, I go down to the beach, and I'm hoping for somebody to take me out in the boat, and they were saying, oh, we'll bring it to you. You can stay here and
I
offload.
don't want that.
And it's like, well, I said, no, I just said, well, I have a knife. I brought my chef's knife with me. And he said, oh, well, get in, come on then. So I was able to go with because I had a knife in my, on my hip.
Well, you know what? Something like that happened to me. We went and visited Newfoundland for the first time last year.
Oh, my second home.
and we were on the pier going to Bell Island, and we had all the fishermen going out, or actually on the pier fishing, and they were fishing for squid.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually, one of the guys turned around and he said, hey, mainlander, come on over and take a poke. So I fished for squid, and before you know it, I was asking him if I could try it.
Yeah.
And of course, wherever I go, I've always got a good sharp knife on my side. And,
Yeah.
he says, "What are you doing with that, boy?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to try it." And he couldn't understand or get around the fact that I wanted to eat something live that just came out of the ocean. And I kept on saying sashimi. Sushi, raw fish, it's fine, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Before you know it, I was hand feeding him a piece, and he turned to me and he goes, "Bye, I've been fishing these waters for 30 years and I've never put something raw in my mouth." And his wife is screaming at him at the end out of the pier, going, "What are we going to tell all the boys at bingo on Thursday?" So it was hilarious. It was a great life experience, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to reach out there and grab it. You had the opportunity to go and you did it.
Oh, it was so exciting. I mean, I was 4 or 5 days trying to go, but of course I was working too, right?
Yeah.
And could only go out when the tide was in, because the boats couldn't come up to the pier to pick you up and stuff.
Gotcha.
The year before, I was in a community called Kikatarjuak, visiting some really good friends of mine.
Okay. It was what?
Kikatarjuak. the year before.
Okay.
So formerly Broughton Island.
Right.
And a bit north, it's north of Pangnirtung.
Okay.
And the narwhal showed
Oh,
up.
wow.
Yeah, so I went narwhal hunting. And it was like,
That is so cool.
it was exhilarating, and I had never ever felt what I felt that day ever in my life.
Really?
Like, and I've worked, like some of the stuff that we do as caterers and stuff like that, you know, we work long hours, right?
Sure.
And we get home and we're tired at the end of the
Yep.
day
Yep.
because we're going, you know, 13, 15, 16 hours sometimes trying to get the work done.
For sure.
With that one, we were out for 13 hours and the whole community was out. So 30 boats were out hunting
Wow.
narwhal. And
30 hours.
no, 30 boats.
30 boats.
We were out for 13 hours.
Oof.
And as a community, there were 11 narwhal caught.
Wow.
And, you know, caught, butchered, and all that sort of
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
And we got back to my friend's place that evening, and I just sat down, and I was just totally, I've never, ever felt it before, and I don't think I've ever felt it even since. Total depletion.
Really?
Total depletion. Like, everything was just, I could feel the blood coursing through my veins, and I was
Wow.
just, I hardly had the energy to breathe.
Wow.
And then it's like, I'm looking up, and my friend is like, she's still working, because now we had to put all this meat away. And it's like, oh my God, I gotta get up and help her. I can't just leave her sitting there doing that. And I stood up, and the house was spinning. So then, of course, everybody was just laughing at me because
You know you're drained when?
I was on the boat for 13 hours, so it felt like I was still on the water, right?
Wow.
And I was like that for, I couldn't stand up. I couldn't help put stuff away. I felt like
Overwhelmed.
it was just amazing. And
Yeah.
they were just laughing at me and stuff like that.
Of
And
course.
then the next day, you know, you get the call on the radio, you can hear on the radio there's more narwhal. So, and everybody's like getting dressed really fast, like firemen almost. Like everything is ready to go. And
But it's all about opportunity.
opportunity, because the
So-
narwhal are not going to sit there and wait for you.
Absolutely
They're
not.
migrating, they're moving on.
For sure.
So it's like I'm watching them all scurry, and they're just ready to go all in like 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm just looking at them, and it's like, and there's, come on, Trudy, a tea. And it's like, I can't.
I'm done.
I just can't do that again today. I can't do that to myself. And they were all gone, and within about 3 or 4 minutes, I was regretting it.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were off and gone, and they were gone for the day. And then, so the third day, again, the call comes over the radio where they are, and they're all getting ready to go. And it's like, okay, I'm going. I don't care how I felt the other day. It was just too exhilarating otherwise.
See, we take it very, very into, you know, you got to put it into perspective. We can just walk into a local big box store and get, you know, anything from around the world.
Yeah.
But when you live, you know, in the land of the midnight sun, you know, or the
Yeah,
it
this
just-
is the winter's food.
absolutely.
And like I said, that first day we were out, we caught 11 narwhal. They were all butchered and everything like that before we came back into the community.
Wow.
And as we're on our way back in, you can hear on the CDs, on the radios, I forget what they call them, but everybody has them in town, and telling people to come down and get your narwhal.
Yep.
Because they're sharing
Of course.
with everybody in the community.
Of course.
And then once the community kind of has enough, then you have family members in other communities and stuff like that, so they're shipping it to other communities too.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that was very important during the Solstice Festival also, is to, you know, we all did our share of cooking, and but during the day you'd have guys that would be running up and feeding the drummers, the dancers, and that's what I took away from it the first year in a big way, was that down deep sense of family. And community.
Yeah.
You know, you don't go off and eat by yourself. You invite somebody to share the plate of food with you.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And that's why, you know, I made ribs on the last day, and, you know, somebody else brought in oysters, and somebody else did lobster pizza. And, you know, it was just, I didn't want to go. I really didn't want to. And I think that's one thing that brought me back to the Solstice Festival every year, was number one, I got to meet really great friends. Number two, I got to learn a tremendous amount. And number three, I don't know nearly enough about our Indigenous community in Canada. I just don't. And this was, I heard the drums for weeks after leaving, and look at the hair, hair's going up, and it's something that that was spectacular, you know.
And it's the amazing thing too with the Indigenous Summer Solstice is, I mean, there's only about 60,000 Inuit across Canada. So sometimes we are a very small community in comparison to the various First Nations.
Right.
So with the Indigenous Summer Solstice, it's really nice that you have the three groups coming together.
Yep.
So the First Nations, the Inuit, and the Métis.
Inclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite
lovely.
amazing.
Yeah.
And we're all, and of course, we have some families where they're they could be First Nations and Inuit blended families and stuff. So you have some amazing things. People are doing these sorts of things with crafts, but now it's okay. So we're using sealskin.
Yeah.
But in some Indigenous communities, you could be using whatever, you could be using beaver fur or something, right? For making crafts, and their communities also use a lot of the natural resources to make things like
Right.
jewelry and beading. And beading, I think, is more of a First Nations thing, but a lot of Inuit do beading too. Like,
Well, you look at all the fancy dancers.
Yeah.
And their outfits, and it's just, you just have to, with respect to what's going on, I always ask before I take a photo. And I've got some amazing, beautiful photos of some very proud women out there just showing off their culture and the color and the sounds and it's just it's awesome. I love it. I think it's really, really, really cool.
How are you doing there?
I'm doing good. I'm almost down to my last one.
I'm going to my last one.
Cool.
How's it looking from the front for you?
I'm even gonna open it up.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a butterfly.
Actually, I'm kind
Hey,
of happy
look.
with it.
That could be a butterfly right now.
It could be.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Put on some. See.
Yeah.
You're gonna do some butterfly earrings.
I think I'm going to be.
Okay.
I've never seen that before, so.
All right. So there's my 4 so
Okay, let's
far.
see how yours are looking when
Yeah.
we flatten it out here. Well, it's rudimentary, but you know what? You're going, once you, we'll put your last piece on and we'll see how it comes.
Folds in?
It might be it might be something like this one that I sewed too far in.
I got you.
But again, like I said, if you make one like that, make your second one like it.
Okay.
And you're still using you went to double thread. I was just going to ask, are you still using a single piece of thread? No, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Is your end close enough we can pull it? No. Okay. Because it's fishing line, so you don't need to use a double thread.
Okay.
You would just keep adjusting your needle as you go.
Okay.
Because it's strong enough without having to use double the thread.
Gotcha.
It's not a big deal that you did. You're just going to need another piece for your second piece. So are you back at the center?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know what time we started this one, just to get an idea how long.
I have no idea, but it's gone by quite quickly.
Yeah. But I'm going to guess, like, somebody sitting down and, enjoying it and having, like, it's nice to do as a craft to do with people together around the table.
For sure.
Because look at what it did, right?
Well, it's pretty much what we've been doing. It's just, chit-chatting and sharing stories. And some people play cards, some people, it's fun.
Yeah, getting together and sharing a
sure.
cup of tea. And
Very crafty. I'm not a crafty guy. I never have been. I've made
you are in other ways.
I know, yeah. Well, I'm playing with food instead
Yeah.
of sealskin, and I've dried flowers and made shadow boxes. My daughter used to be part of a theater group, and I'd always take her bouquet of flowers that we would give her, and I'd press them, and I'd dry them and make shadow boxes. And that's about as far as I got as far as craftiness goes. Mm-hmm. But there's something to be said for just chilling out, relaxing, and just having some fun. How much would you pay? Like, is this expensive to get sealskin, and is it readily available? And where would you purchase it?
Sealskin is fairly readily available. There are different vendors that do sell it.
Okay.
I try to buy from vendors who support Inuit.
Right.
And so there's a couple. One is it's Henri Gaston Furriers.
Okay.
And then there's another one, Bill Warb Furs. And then there's a guy on Facebook, Phil, can't remember his last name. Tak Tak Furs or something like that. So it depends. Or if I'm in the north, then I go to, people the organizations there who might be selling them.
Right.
But I like that the organizations that I do buy from, or they come to that I do buy from, they support the hunt in the north, sustainable hunting.
Okay.
And the other thing that they do is They will also kind of sponsor community events and stuff where they're sending back sealskins now for people in the community to do craft programs, making comics and sealskin jackets and mitts and stuff like that. So they're not just buying the seal, they're buying it, tanning it, shipping it back, and gifting it to seamstresses in the communities.
Right.
To carry on.
So basically, it's an all-around
Circle.
Goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're basically supporting everybody that's part of the chain.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very cool.
So that's an even prettier butterfly. Look at that.
We're doing butterfly earrings today.
There's still going to be stars.
So once you get to the bottom of the fourth, you go back up to start at the middle again for the last of the fifth, I would imagine.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Because now we're going to basically bring the first piece
Together
and the
with
fifth
the
piece
last,
together.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if we like the different types of beads and things. You know, a lot of beading stores in areas. You can buy them online and stuff like that. You can get them on Amazon.
So traditionally, where would people get their beads?
Traditionally, I
Yeah.
don't think we had beads.
No beads.
No.
No beads.
But probably would have made them from bone
Okay.
or animal teeth,
I get you.
right? Like sealskin earrings, these wouldn't be a traditional thing. These are
Modern
modern
conveniences.
Yeah. A lot of people are
using-
living in the South now, and you know, this is a way that keeps us connected
Right.
with our culture and stuff by working with sealskin and working with the different things that we have
Gotcha.
or we grew up with.
So the last one to go together, you fold it in?
Yep. Again, always right side to right side.
Always right side to right
And
side.
if you had, like with you have some of that fur sticking out, so just take your needle and kind of poke it
Poke
in
it
like
in?
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And you want to make sure your center is fairly closed.
Right. So you got a nice. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I put that one too far in. Boy, what a difference in temperature today compared to this time last year.
Oh my lord!
And guess what I would prefer?
I know. It was snowing on us. It was just miserable.
Yeah, is summer
know,
over yet?
We were lighting grills in the garage just to
Yeah.
stay warm.
No,
Yeah, the prep kitchen was very, very cold. I remember Chef Ganji just,
yeah, I definitely prefer that over this. And
Yeah.
I don't know what date we are. Like we haven't even gotten to summer solstice,
I
June
know.
21st,
I know.
and it's hot.
I know. Oh, there we go. Oh, I see what you mean by poking the fur through.
Yeah.
So,
So if you find your thread is getting a little short,
nope, we're good.
Yeah.
I'll have enough to actually finish it off.
you think?
Yeah.
Because you have to put the bead through yet, because it might be good if you don't have enough, then tie it off and we'll give you another piece,
Okay.
just so that you can get your bead on there without any problem.
Gotcha.
Because we started off with about the same length, and I still have, like I'm doing the single one, right?
Right.
So also too, if it's something that people want to be doing, like otherwise, if they look for more fur and want to do other types of jewelry, I know people who do this with, what's it called, dental floss too.
Wow.
Or, sinew. Traditionally, Inuit would be using sinew.
Okay.
But I find and I started with I just pulled my thread out of my needle.
Oh no.
I gotta re my needle.
You got to throw your glasses on again and rethread your needle.
Oh. Yeah.
Wow.
I just poked myself.
The joys of doing needlework.
I'm looking forward to a time when my granddaughter is able to do some of these things. She helps me cook. She's 6 years old.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, that's the best, eh?
yeah,
Is when you can actually bring the grandkids into the equation.
yeah.
It makes it so much more special when you can share your skill set with the ones that you love.
Yeah, and my daughters are both very, very talented and crafty
Right.
in different ways.
Right.
My youngest one, have you noticed my?
She's
new
the
set?
dancer, right?
No, she doesn't dance. Well, she might dance in her own living room, maybe.
No. Was that your niece that was dancing?
No, she's a throat singer, my niece.
Okay. Throat singer.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. So she's going to be doing a component also.
Okay.
But yeah, so have you noticed my new tattoo?
I did.
You did?
I saw her needling you. Yes.
So that was done in a somewhat
Carissa
traditional
did that,
manner.
eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in a somewhat traditional manner, it's a stick and poke.
Yep.
Traditionally, they would have been using like needles and stuff made out of bone. That's not bad for your first time stuff. What I would do the next time, like if you're doing it,
Tighten up the stitching.
yeah, pull your threads through more so you don't
the
see
threads
them.
are showing, yeah.
Yeah, but you have the idea,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is too is if you really wanted to be, somewhat anal about it,
Mm-hmm.
you could take it apart and redo it.
Yes, you could. You absolutely could.
But it's it's a learning curve, right? There's no expectation that you're going to sit there and get it the first time around. I certainly didn't.
No.
But I mean, nice that you're here and wanting to learn.
I got it. I
And
did it.
And your second one,
I did it.
you're
And
just-
I think it's pretty cool. It's not exactly the way I wanted it, but
and you know what? If you think you're not going to make the second one, you can turn that into something like a keychain.
Oh, that's going
Zipper
right
pull.
up next to my desk.
Zipper pull.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly.
So
where
you're
that's
not
going.
quite finished. Did you get your thread back to the center?
No. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because we still want to get the bead. I mean, you don't have to put the bead in the center, but this is what.
Oh
it's gonna,
no, Trudy! I
Yeah.
have to put a bead in the center.
Yeah, because otherwise this is what it's going to look like, right? But
yeah.
now look at this, and you can use any sort of bead. Now look at that. All of
Yeah,
a sudden it
it pops.
steps it right up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's rare that I make something and keep it for myself. So I think I might actually.
I'm surprised you didn't go butterfly on me. I'm really surprised I didn't go butterfly.
I'm going to be
I know.
looking into that. And
Yeah, by the end of the week on Facebook, I'm going to see butterflies all over the place. I know.
I know. Thinking a necklace.
It all started with staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw a butterfly. And
That's
that
how
was the end
things
of it.
happen.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so back to this tattoo. Yeah, this is my Mother's Day gift from my daughter.
Lovely.
And she came over kind of like shy and coy and with her little tattoo kit and like,
Jamming you.
can I tattoo you? And she wanted to be, she would have been happy if I said yes to a Sedna line.
Right.
So one line across my finger representing Sedna. And it's like, yeah, no, I don't want a Sedna, I want something else. And me and Anulu.
You've got a second piece on you though.
Yeah.
She did a second piece as well.
Yeah, she did the kakevak.
Yeah.
So this is a kakevak. This is a traditional Inuit fishing spear.
Okay.
So you harpoon the fish, right? And the fish got these two little things, so the fish can't get away from you again.
Huh.
And that was, I want to do all my fingers with kakevaks. There's different styles, different regions.
Uh-huh.
But right now, this one is for my husband.
Right.
Because he's the one that didn't get away.
I get you. Okay, so now I'm going to do the bead.
Yeah. So you're just going to take any bead that you like.
I don't know, which one do you think?
Well, you can't use those because I only have one set of those.
Okay.
I would do a silver. You can do a nice silver ball like
Okay,
these. They're
let's
a
do-
bit more
okay.
direct decorative.
All right.
Those are solid.
All right.
There's glass beads. There's plastic beads. There's metal beads. They're like the type of beads are endless.
All right.
And I'm going to do mine. Look, oh no, I pulled the needle again.
So you're going to jam that right through the middle, I would imagine.
Yep, right through the middle. And the bead is more or less to cover your center. It's a bit decorative, but it also serves a purpose
Okay.
of, if you have any flaws.
So I'm going to need more than one bead, is what you're telling me. I'm going to need
Yeah, but
several
then
beads.
you'll be beading stuff and won't be doing sealskin jewelry anymore.
No. Okay. Oh, there we go. Put that right
Didn't
next.
quite bring my thread back to the center yet. And because it's fishing line that you're using, you
Yep.
don't need to, like when you're sewing on a button, you have to go through it 6, 7, 8 times or whatever.
Oh, do you?
No, if you're using regular
I've never
thread.
sewn a button on in my life.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to go through 6 or
You
7
have
times?
to go through a few times, just
Okay.
so there's enough thread that it doesn't fray and the button falls off again at the most inappropriate time.
I get you.
Yeah, but this is fishing line.
Okay.
It's 6 pound.
Yep.
So you literally have to go through the bead once, maybe twice.
Okay.
I go through mine twice,
All right.
and that's it. And of course, you have to knot it and do your knot on the back to hide it.
Okay, so how do I finish this now?
See, that's.
Oh, I see. You go through the back.
Oh, I keep doing this. I keep pulling my
Oh,
thread.
no.
Yeah, your thread is almost not long enough. Can you go through your bead one more time
I did, and
Knot
I
it.
just went through.
and can you knot it on the back?
Probably not.
Probably not. Let me see. Okay, but you're through your bead?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would do
Yeah.
is I would cut the thread very close to the needle and tie a few knots there.
Okay.
Like just two
Yep.
pieces of thread together.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you want, when you're putting your bead on, of course, you want the thread from the opposite side of your bead to go as close to the other side. And I'm going to put that through twice, just to make sure it's nice and tight.
I really should have brought my glasses.
Do you need mine?
No. I already wore them once on TV. Twice is enough.
You can't see, couldn't
Yeah.
see other way.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be all over social media. Look at Steph with the granny glasses on.
Yeah, they're the transitions. I've had them for about 7 months and I still haven't transitioned.
Really?
I have a hard time with them, so I'm one of those that has a couple of pairs of glasses hanging around, one for seeing and one for driving.
What do you think, kids? Am I doing okay? Eh?
See, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would. I would be very pleased with that and very happy with it
I'm very happy with that.
because it's your first time around. You have
Absolutely.
the idea.
That's banging. I'm happy with
And
that. Thanks, Trudy.
yeah,
That's really
and
cool.
we're not quite done.
Okay.
Well, yours might be done because unless you're going to make a second one,
No.
it might not be an earring.
No, I'm done. Yeah.
But I'm going to show you. I'm going to also. We had to do the step of how we put the hoops on, right?
Oh, cool. Oh,
So with
that's cool.
mine, I'm tying off my back
Yep.
because I have my bead
Nice.
on there also.
Look how tight that is.
Yeah.
My God, look how tight that is. See, now you have an appreciation, you know? I wouldn't have known
mine
what
are
to look
still
for.
not nearly like what the
Did you tie a knot in that?
Yeah, I tied a couple of knots.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what the traditional sewers, they would have probably put in 2 or 3 times as many stitches as I did when they're sewing their kamiks and their clothes together.
Wow.
Because they had to be waterproof and windproof, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing with the kits, a lot of when you see a lot of earrings, like I have a bead set on here, but just to show you the different types of earring hoops. So you kind of see here, you've got like a hoop, right?
Okay.
That you need to take apart with pliers and put back together again and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to be putting into the kits is very simple so that we don't have to have those double nose pliers and really good eyes, which is the other thing.
Right.
So with these ones, where's the other one? No, those are that one. Oh, I had it in that earring. So all I'm going to do is take my needle. I try to know where I put it. Always know where your needles are.
Yeah, I was
Steph.
just going to say, I'm going to stick
Yeah.
mine up there.
So all I'm going to do is I'm going to poke through the back of the,
Create a hole.
fairly close to the tip,
Yep.
because you don't want it to be too far down here, otherwise
Right.
your hoop is not going to work properly.
Mhm.
And because it's like a leather, it's not going to fray and come apart. So I'm just going to put the needle in there, push it around like that. Like
Somewhere where the metal can actually go through
Yeah.
without any resistance.
no resistance.
Gotcha.
So open up your little hook, and this one is, I have no neck, so my earrings need to be short, otherwise they're, but you know what? Maybe I'll do a big one.
Giddy up.
Who knows?
Live large.
Something different for me.
Absolutely.
I'll probably end up having to change it.
But the other one's right there.
Yeah.
And it's a quick and
So-
easy change.
Look at that.
That's
Now,
pretty.
put that through.
And you just made yourself an earring.
I just made myself an earring.
That's pretty
Look
cool.
how pretty. Look at that.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, look. It might actually work if I really walk around
Come
like
on, work it. You
like
gotta,
an
you gotta
Egyptian.
work it. You got to flow the
with
hair and everything.
I should get some of those bands, like
Oh, yeah,
the
absolutely.
Cleopatra bands, so it holds my neck up high, so that the neck works.
Well, I don't know about
So
you,
we're done.
but people at home, this is what you can do.
You know what else you can do with that, Steph?
What?
If you don't, you can make it into a little pin. You put a little sew a safety pin on the back, and there you go. Look at that.
That's why I love you, Trudy. You're always thinking.
Lots of ideas.
Ladies and gentlemen, Trudy Metcalfe-Coe, making some beautiful earrings with Steph the Grilling Gourmet on this beautiful summer solstice day.